Hello everybody, it has been a very long time since we have done a Trophy Lodge tour in my main Trophy Lodge, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now we have so many trophies in here that I'm not going to be able to talk about each and every single one of them, or else this would be an hour-long video. And also, I do have to mention that this does not include any of our great ones or the majority of our super rares or like crazy trophies that we got on grinds. I have a separate lodge for that, and we did a lodge tour on that just a few months ago. Eventually we'll do another one on that lodge, but for now we're going to do one on this one since it's been a while. This is a Legacy Rack Red Deer. Before they added True Racks in, this was the highest scoring one I was able to get. It wasn't quite max score, but it was darn close. We have my very first True Racks Red Deer Diamond, and then on the wall over here we've got various Axis Deer, Moose, Cape Buffalo, and Caribou trophies, with this being the most impressive one, a Diamond Piebald Caribou from just after the release of Yukon Valley. This was my first ever super rare, and it was an absolute doozy as well. Got Legacy Rack Axis Deer, a couple of really nice moose up here, including one that you actually can't get a score this high anymore because they lowered the scores in one of the updates, but you used to be able to get moose that would score like 307 or more. Sadly, now I think 301's about the peak that you'll be able to get. This nowadays would be a super rare, but at the time of killing this Axis Deer, this was not a super rare. Piebalds were considered uncommons back then. We've got ourselves a reindeer multi-mount, a couple diamonds, and a piebald. We've got ourselves one of my favorite multi-mounts right here. We got a diamond leucistic duck. As you can kind of see, it's getting murdered by that coyote right there, along with a piebald coyote. We've got a melanistic mallard and a max scoring duck. We've got various mule deer trophies. This also is not a super rare. This was back when mule deer dilutes were super easy to find, so that is just an uncommon. We've got a couple beautiful albinos. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't show the proper score on the male because this was killed before they swapped over the scoring systems. This was killed on the old, like, 1 to 1,000 system. I think this was like a 923 albino lesser kudu, and diamond at the time was 950 for all animals. And then when they did one of the updates to true score, it ended up just screwing up some of the old trophies as well when you look at them in the lodge. So that's a little unfortunate. Albino elk. We've got a couple of max scoring female Gemsbok right here. We've got ourselves a European hare diamond. And as we look over here, we got a couple of albino warthogs. We've got a diamond black grouse. We've got diamond elk on each side. We've got diamond and albino mountain goats over here. We got a couple of diamond mule deer. We've got ourselves a diamond cinnamon teal. We have, of course, a bunch of mouflon trophies up top, including a 156 Mela and a 144 albino, a couple of my favorite mouflon trophies of all time. Let's get a closer look at them. They're absolutely beautiful. You love to see it. And then we got two diamond mouflon as well. We got a max scoring Cape Buffalo. Got a rare leucistic black buck scoring 27.4. I believe this is an older one, so I don't think this score is accurate to the current scoring that we have. We've got our diamond rusa deer right there. We've got a diamond hog deer. We've got another black buck diamond. A lot of decent trophies in this room right here. Now, as we go over here, let's take a quick zoom by this guy right here. We've got a max scoring European hare. We've got a 6.5 European hare. We've got another European hare diamond. We've got a couple of albino True Racks kudu, as well as a couple melanistic True Racks kudu. We've got ourselves a diamond blue wildebeest and another diamond blue wildebeest and a diamond springbok with the old legacy racks. And then these are a couple of the most recent additions to this lodge. We've got a collared peccary diamond as well as a leucistic collared peccary. And something I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video right here is we are approaching 6,700 total hours played on this Call of the Wild account. So this lodge is something I've been building for a very, very long time. We've got various duck trophies and other bird trophies up here. Leucistic pheasant. We got a diamond bighorn, a diamond chamois, got diamond teal, a diamond capercaillie. We got a diamond harlequin, a diamond eastern cottontail. We've got a diamond bobwhite quail. This was back when the females used to make diamond. As you can see, this is a very old diamond quail from 2021. We got this shortly after the release of Mississippi. We've got an albino musk deer. We've got a Mela Eurasian lynx. Over here, we've got ourselves a side-striped jackal diamond. We got a Siberian musk deer piebald. We've got various different pronghorn trophies, with this one right here being the best by far. A 93.5 scoring albino, just absolutely gorgeous. We've got a couple of bears. We got a max score bear, as well as a 23.5 blonde. Now, this was killed before blondes were rare, so at the time of finding this one, it was not a rare, unfortunately, so that is not a super rare. We've got albino, leucistic, and albino turkeys right here for the Merriam turkeys. We've got ourselves a gorgeous elk right here, along with an albino female mountain lion, but that is just a stunning bull. 394, and it's looking really good. Now down this way we go. We've got a bunch of elk. We got Roosevelt elk, Roosevelt elk. We've got another Roosevelt elk, another Roosevelt elk, and a couple of Rocky elk, including this guy being our biggest one ever, 513 on the score. Let's double back to this elk, though. This is the most wonky diamond Roosevelt I think I've ever been able to find. Just look at how wonky his antlers are. You love to see it. He's an absolute beauty. Then below him, we've got a diamond Eurasian widgeon. We go over here, we got a melanistic Canada goose. We've got another diamond black buck, this one being the Truax variation, along with a diamond kudu, diamond water buffalo, Mela mule deer, axis deer diamond, another albino elk, another axis deer diamond of the legacy rack, and then we've got the melanistic blacktail deer. We've got a legacy rack diamond blacktail deer. We've got a diamond kudu again for the Truax ones, Mela caribou, another Truax lesser kudu, a cinnamon black bear, 21.9, which is solid, a very solid one. Right here is one of my favorite multi-mounts in this lodge. We've got a diamond grizzly with a melanistic grizzly. This is one that's been in here for a while, as you can see. 2020 is when we ended up getting this. This was one of the first grinds I did here on the channel. In fact, I think I did it on Twitch and then posted the videos here on YouTube. This is a very old mount. We've had this one for a while. We've got some of my favorite mounts again. We got the double melanistic pheasant mount, along with double diamond pheasants, and once again, double diamond pheasants. So we've got 4 diamond pheasants and 2 melanistic pheasants on this table. It's just such an incredible mount to have. You just love to see it. And then this was a pretty old mount as well. This is my highest scoring whitetail diamond of all time. In fact, it's such a high scoring one, you can't even get them to score this high anymore. As you can see, this was taken in 2020 as well. This was during the first Great One grind we ever did. And this is what they used to be able to reach. You used to be able to get 2 90s whitetail bucks, and then an update later on changed that, so now you really can't do that, unfortunately. And then one of these bucks is a 274.4, which was my biggest at the time of creating this on the brand new system. And then the 272.9, if I'm not mistaken, I think that may have been our bugged Great One, back when the Great Ones were broken, where they would turn into a diamond if you left the map before killing it. We've got a harlequin duck here. We've got a springbok. We've got a piebald red fox. We've got ourselves a piebald coyote. Just lots of beautiful smaller trophies on that wall. We got ourselves a diamond European bison. We've got a diamond Canada goose. We've got a gray fox and a red fox, both diamond, both amazing looking. That two-tone is just, oof. The two-tone foxes are gorgeous. My favorite fur for them. I think it's time that we go down this hallway right here. This is my moose wall. We've got ourselves an albino moose. We've got a mocha moose. We've got a Mela moose, and we got a piebald moose. This one being the highest scoring at 251.6. Looking stunning. On the other wall, we've got a gray-brown grizzly bear, which is looking pretty stunning as well. You love to see that interesting face of theirs. And then if we go down this way a little bit further, we got a piebald diamond cinnamon teal. We've got ourselves a melanistic side-striped jackal. We've got a diamond spirit brown bear, which is one of my favorite predator diamonds of all time. Just so stunning. Got a diamond wild boar that we got somewhat recently. We got it in November of 2023. We've got a couple of black bear right here, which I might eventually replace because we already have black bear trophies in the lodge. So these are probably going to be the first ones to get replaced whenever I need to replace something. This right here was a super troll albino European bison, a Truax one. Unfortunately, it didn't make it. It had no chance of making it. It was a guaranteed troll level 5, but it's still a great addition to the lodge regardless of whether or not it made it. And then on the wall next to it, we got a couple of piebald roe deer and a couple of Mexican bobcats, one being a diamond, one being an albino. The albino bobcat is beautiful. It's just so good looking. Now in here, we've got the Grand Slam of Ibex, which always looks great when you can complete that mount. And then we've got an albino wildebeest. We've got a diamond feral goat scoring 221, another albino wildebeest, and a diamond mixed feral goat scoring 212. Back when I killed this, these were not a rare. They were just an uncommon, so it was still a rare thing to find, but not as rare as it would be nowadays if you were to find one. And across from it, we've got a diamond common raccoon. We've got a blonde piebald raccoon. We've got a diamond willow ptarmigan, a 109 Ronda ibex. We've got a 338 mule deer with the big rack. We've got a diamond kangaroo scoring 493. And if we look on the wall up here, we've got a 275.5 whitetail, which is what most people consider to be the max score. We've got a diamond roe deer with a crazy looking score. We've got a albino moose, diamond 300 plus moose, a melanistic 215 moose, a super troll rocky elk. This was a level 5 piebald, and it was a guaranteed troll, just like that albino European bison was. Such a beautiful animal, but sadly, he just had no chance of making it at all. Then we've got another diamond roe deer, as well as another large whitetail deer, 274.6. I think the reason I mounted this up on here is because it's one rack below the big rack. So for this guy to score that high was pretty wild. And then across from them, we've got a melanistic mountain lion with a melanistic blacktail deer. This mountain lion was actually a mythical melanistic, my best mountain lion by far. And behind it is a light brown diamond whitetail jackrabbit and a diamond plains bison. Now, as we head back out of here and take a quick detour into this side room, we've got a lot of cool trophies in here too. We've got a multi-mount of roe deer. This was back before they changed the scoring on them, so they scored a lot higher back then. I don't believe they can score this high now, if I'm not mistaken, but back then this was a pretty average score range to get your roe deer in. We've also got an albino mountain goat. We've got an albino blacktail. We've got an albino mountain lion scoring 38. I believe that was a mythical as well, possibly a 7, but I think a mythical. We've got an albino Bathidi ibex, 149. We've got an albino bighorn scoring 147. A diamond lion, a legacy rack diamond fallow deer. You can't get these anymore, and they are quite cool looking. We've got a max score mountain lion. We've got a 127 European bison. We've got a 189 diamond blacktail, a 224 diamond axis deer, a 58 scoring albino feral goat, and then if we look down, we've got a light gray leucistic Canada goose scoring 7.7, which is a good one. We've got a gray Canada goose scoring 7.9. We've got a 9.1 scoring diamond Canada goose, and then we've got a diamond brown hybrid scoring 9.1 as well. We only have 3 rooms remaining, but believe me, they are some of the best ones in the lodge. We also have a few trophies out in front of them, so let's look at those right now. We got the albino harlequin duck. We've got a diamond European bison scoring 131. We've got ourselves a max scoring brown Cape buffalo, which is one of my better Virhonga trophies. Anytime you can get a max scoring cape, it's great. Those big horns just look incredible. And then for it to be an uncommon like the brown as well, just tops it off to make it even better. We've got ourselves a black feral pig diamond. This is my only diamond feral pig that I've ever managed to get, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy. And then if we look right here, we've got a diamond gray wolf scoring 39.2. If we flip around without showing the next room, we've got an albino European hare. We've got an albino whitetail jackrabbit. We've got an albino caribou. We've got a leucistic caribou. We've got a brown hybrid diamond wild hog, which is technically the same as the feral pig, but they've got a different name because this is off of Mississippi, while the feral pig is off of New Zealand. And right above it, we got another diamond gray wolf, which it's nice to be able to have them right across from each other. Now it's time to go into this room over here. This is where things start to get a little bit crazier. We've got a bunch of diamond rabbits, a scrub hare. We've got a melanistic Euro rabbit. We've got a leucistic European rabbit, an albino European rabbit, a diamond European rabbit, and we've got a diamond gold blue wildebeest, a crowned wildebeest, a 229 diamond axis. We've got a melanistic gray wolf, a 289 piebald elk, an albino Iberian wolf, another diamond axis deer scoring 219, and then my favorite in the room, a 163 albino water buffalo. This thing is so crazy looking. Just absolutely insane. And with this room right here being our second to last one, you already know this is going to be an insane room. Definitely the best one that we have looked at as of now. Let's start over here from the smallest stuff. We've got 5 different racks for Diamond Seekadir. That's right, you can have 5 different racks for the Diamond Seekadir. All of these look different in one way or another, and they're all diamond. When I first discovered that there were so many racks for them, it just made me want to get more and more because every single one of these looks a little bit different. With that guy right there, I believe being the biggest one at 217, but this guy came really close as well. Some stunning, stunning little Seeka Stags. Then right next to them, we've got Diamond Albino Axis Deer times 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. Those are some crazy super rares. But unfortunately, they were not that rare at the time of finding them because the first month or two after Truex Axis Deer were added, they were spawning diamonds way more than they were supposed to, so it wasn't actually that difficult to find a diamond albino one. You pretty much just had to find an albino and there was a solid chance it was going to be a 5. Glad they fixed that bug and it's no longer a thing because that was a rough time. And then next to them, we've got a piebald Rusadeer, an albino Rusadeer, which is probably my favorite Rusa that I've got, and then another piebald, this one being a pretty sizable one. I might be wrong, but I think I might have messed this one up. That score looks like it might be one that was messed up. I don't know. I'm sure one of you probably remembers. And then below it, we've got a brown 183 Iberian Mouflon Diamond. We've got a 143.9 Diamond Bantang. We've got an albino Seekadir scoring 97. We've got ourselves a Diamond Red Fox with a Diamond White-tailed Jackrabbit. That is one of my favorite little multi-mounts for these small platforms. Looks so good. Then we've also got the Piebald Raccoon Dog and a Red Willow Ptarmigan. This Red Willow Ptarmigan is probably one of the rarest things you can get on Revontuli Coast. This is such a rare trophy. And it took me, I think, like 3 or 4 hours to kill. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. Scarecrow, Red Willow Ptarmigan. Should be able to type that in and find it. It was a crazy hunt. And then we've got these little guys right here. We got a Piebald Gray Fox female. We've got a Dark Gray Diamond Coyote. We've got a Piebald Red Fox once again. And then we've got some other crazy stuff around them. We've got a mythical melanistic red deer. This guy is my biggest melanistic easily. And it's one of my favorite red deer trophies that I've ever killed. And I mean, I've killed over 24,000 red deer in the last like 2.5 to 3 years here on the channel. And this is by far the best melanistic one I've ever killed. And it's one of my favorites I've ever seen. Then next up, we've got a Troll Level 9 Piebald Red Deer. This was, I think, my first super troll that I got on the red deer grind a couple years ago when we did our first ever herd management grind for red deer. This was a very sad moment, but I was also quite happy because it's still a big one. And next to it was an even more sad red deer to find. This is a rack that normally would make diamond, but it fell just a little bit short. 249.9. So it didn't end up being a super rare, but it's still a gorgeous piebald 249 red deer. Now, if we move over here, we've got Diamond Piebald Axis Deer. Again, this was taken when piebalds were not super hard to find and the 5s were spawning like crazy. Same with this one, so they're not super insane. But then we got another albino Seekadir, which those guys are really rare. We've got a piebald Sandbar Deer. We've got a Diamond Bantang scoring 143.3. We've got a Diamond Sandbar Deer. Another albino Seekadir. You love to see it. And then we've got a 271 Red Deer. A 259 red deer, and the reason this is here is because this is the big rack. This is a big rack that scores under 270, which is not super common. Usually the big rack will score over 260 almost every single time. I know some people get confused because the big rack and the small rack look basically the same. The only difference is there's more mass on the big rack, and if I'm not mistaken, there's no splits on the brow tines. But if it's the small rack, there will be a split on the brow tine, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, these don't have splits. The small rack does have a split. But then the other one over here is another 271. Love to see it. And this brings us to the last room. The best, most insane room we have in the lodge. Let's take a look at it. We'll start right here. Melanistic American Alligator with a melanistic raccoon. We got both of these within the first couple weeks of Mississippi's release. Just such a crazy little multi-mount. And it looks so good, too. You know, all this talking is making my head hurt. Getting a little lightheaded with how much I've had to talk. It's been 22 minutes non-stop at this point. Then we've got ourselves a melanistic Canada Goose with a piebald European Bison. This was pre-True Rex, so this is a Legacy Horns. A Legacy Horns piebald European Bison. Really awesome trophy. And then on the wall behind it, we have an albino Plains Bison. We've got a leucistic Plains Bison and a melanistic Plains Bison. An awesome little trio of bison. I would like to get a male one for the leucistic. Maybe one of these days we'll have to find that. Because, yeah, it's unfortunate that we've got like a small female in between these two giant males. Now, if we look a little bit over here, we've got a saltwater crocodile albino. This is my best saltwater croc by far. With a leucistic troll magpie goose. This was a level 5 leucistic, and it just barely missed diamond, which was such a sad and tragic moment. Right next to it, we've got another alligator trophy, a 471 piebald. This was a mythical when we found it. And we've got an albino raccoon sitting on top of it. Stunning. Absolutely beautiful. But not as beautiful as the one next to it. This is the all-albino breadwinner. One of probably my most well-known mounts because it's, I think, one of my most popular videos ever on the channel was when I completed this multi-mount. We've got the 125 albino cape. We've got an albino female lion, another albino female lion, and our 44.8 scoring albino gold male lion. Just such an awesome mount. Like, you really couldn't ask for anything better. This is the ultimate albino mount you could possibly make. And next to it, we've got a little trio of roe deer rares with 2 of them being piebald, 1 being an albino, and one of these piebalds, this guy in front, being actually kind of wonky. Such a cool little piebald to get. Next to it, we've got the Roomble multi-mount. I think it's called Roomble or something like that. 505.5 and 508 scoring diamonds. Let's do the wall last. So let's go ahead and look at this one. We got the diamond Merriam turkey, light brown because it just looks so good. And then we've got ourselves the diamond Rio Grande turkey. You love to see it. We've got 2 diamond antelope jackrabbit right here. This was a tough multi-mount to make. These guys do not seem to be too easy to find. So this was really a weight off of my chest when we got it. Now, one of my favorite, I guess, considered rares now, but when I got it, it wasn't a rare. The gray diamond mouflon. This was not a rare when I killed it, but nowadays I believe this is considered a rare. It's just such a beautiful fur type for the mouflon. And then we've got, of course, 3 diamond Iberian wolf with him. Just a great mount. And on the wall over here, we've got a leucistic crocodile. We've got an albino alligator. We've got a piebald alligator. We've got a that's a diamond alligator. We've got another diamond alligator and a diamond crocodile. This wall is crazy. I mean, just look at that. And look at that guy's face, too. My favorite black-tailed deer. A 165 piebald. This was a level 3. This was before they kind of messed around with the scoring for them as well. So 165 nowadays would be, like, massive. But that is not what this would score nowadays, I don't think. But still really cool. We've got a diamond gray mountain lion with it as well. Fantastic multi-mount. Definitely one of the better ones in the lodge. And the final wall. This one is pretty cool. We've got ourselves a diamond warthog. And we've got a black gold wild boar, which is one of the rarest rares that I've got, if I'm not mistaken. You don't see a lot of these black gold wild boar. And this was the first animal that I ever killed on Quattro Colinas, as you can tell by how long ago I killed it, 2019 in December. Crazy. Just absolutely crazy. Then next to it, we've got ourselves a diamond crocodile. We've got a pink feral pig. We've got a melanistic wild boar, another very rare trophy. You just do not see a lot of these. You do not see a lot of rare wild boar. And then we've got a red-brown diamond warthog. And the top 3, the final 3 trophies we're showing off, 3 of my favorites in this lodge. This is a melanistic red deer that we just recently got. This was got on our new Tiawaroa grind. And the reason that I'm so excited about these 3 that we're about to look at is because they all have very similar racks. It is the trio of rare mythical red deer that all have this type of style of rack. Obviously, they're not the exact same rack. Like, this one's a little bit smaller than this one, and then these 2 are slightly different from each other, but they all have the same general shape. And I was so happy when I was able to get this Mela the other day to finally complete this wall and have it be exactly how I want it. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for this Trophy Lodge tour right here. The Trophy Lodge that has took us almost 6,700 hours to create over the course of years at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour. It was a fun one. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as well as leaving a comment and a like down below. Let me know what you think of the Trophy Lodge. Let me know what you guys think we could change about it, what trophies should be replaced, and you know, things like that. I will see you all in the next one. Oh, after we take a look at these. We forgot about these two. I can't believe it. Diamond, Piebald, Cinnamon Teal, and a Diamond max scoring male Gemsbach. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.